Are you looking for a list of foods that you can eat as a type 2 diabetic or a pre-diabetic? Then this is the video for you. My name is John Collett, and in March 2018 I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and within 6 months I managed to put my condition into remission, and I want to help you do the same. So in this video I'm not necessarily going to give you a list of all the foods you're going to eat. What I've done is provided a document for you with a list of all the foods that you can eat. Go to the description below, click on the food guide link, stick your name and email address in there, and I'll send you an email with a PDF where you get a whole list of different types of foods that you can eat as a type 2 diabetic or a pre-diabetic. What this video is about how to use that list so you can create your own meal plan for yourself to get this condition and into remission. Okay, so what I want to do is clear up a few things, because I want to get rid of a few bits of confusion, because a lot of people say to me, I don't know if I should eat carbs or I shouldn't eat carbs. I've been told I need to lose weight. Do I cut out fat? Do I not cut out fat? I've been told the sugar is the problem, so do I cut out sugar? Do I not cut out sugar? Do I eat fruit? Do I don't eat fruit? So the first part of this video is all about dealing with that. And then the second part of the video is all going to be about how to prepare your meals, with knowing now that you have that information, how to prepare your meals for the week using the food guide. Okay, so let's start off with how your body burns energy. It's really important you know this going forward. Our body burns energy in two different ways: carbohydrates and ketones. Carbohydrates come from mostly the food that we eat, and ketones comes from fat. Okay, now why does our body burn energy two ways? It's very simple. It's evolved to live in a feast or famine society, not the society we live in right now where food is plentiful all of the time. It's used to living in a society where in the summer and in the autumn food is plentiful, and we eat that food and we burn carbohydrates. Okay, and any excess energy that our body doesn't need gets stored as fat. Then when it comes to the winter and then to the spring, when food isn't plentiful, our body burns energy as ketones, which it gets from the fat that is stored from the summer and the spring. Okay, and this is where an element of confusion comes in, because you've been told as a type 2 diabetic that you've got to cut out the number of carbs that you have in your body. But you see, when you eat real food, that contains carbohydrates, okay, what we call complex carbohydrates. But when you eat processed food, this also has carbs, but they're man-made carbs. So when they say you've got to cut down the number of carbs that you intake, and maybe you've been told to around about 30 grams, 35 grams, around that mark, I would say that's a good figure to go for. What they really mean is the carbs from processed food. And what they really mean is don't eat processed food. Okay, and hopefully by the end of this video you will learn why. Because the processed food, when you eat processed food, what happens is it's designed to burn quickly in your body so that you want to eat again. Okay, and you want to eat again quicker. And so when you eat that food, you're continually eating, you're continually spiking your blood sugar. All right, this is why you can eat a Chinese meal, be really full, really bloated, and within a couple of hours you want to eat something else again. When you eat carbs from real food, from vegetables, leafy greens, roots, and fruits and things, what happens is that energy burns slowly in your body. It doesn't spike your blood sugar as much, so your blood sugar comes down again. Okay, and so these carbohydrates are good. But when it comes to carbohydrates in real food, when you look at the food list, you'll notice that some of them I've highlighted and it says you should limit those foods when you eat them. So this tends to be a very simple rule. If it grows above ground, you'll notice that you can eat as much as you want of those. The carbs on them are very, very low. But when you get vegetables that grow below ground, their carbs tend to be a lot higher. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat those, right? They're very good for you, okay? You should eat them. You do get other benefits, but you should limit them. So for instance, if you're making a Sunday dinner, for instance, and you're picking what vegetables you want with your meats and stuff like that, you really probably only want to have one portion of roots on there. So either carrots or maybe swede or, you know, something like that, okay, on there. But the one root you really need to avoid is potatoes, okay? You definitely want to avoid potatoes, okay? You want to replace that with sweet potatoes, really, okay? Because potatoes will massively spike your blood sugar. So like I said, when you're picking your meals, what you got, leafy greens are fine. You can have as many different combinations of those as you want, but the roots underneath you need to limit, okay? So then let's take us on to fat. Let's talk about fats. So you've probably been told as a type 2, if you're a type 2 diabetic, which is big like me, if you're a skinny diabetic, this is a different situation. But if you were a big diabetic like me, you've been told that you've got to lose weight, okay? And you may be been told that traditionally you lose weight, okay, by cutting out the fats in your food. And then you watch all of these videos and we're all telling you fats are good. So let me explain this to you. Yet again, what they really mean is saturated fat. Okay, saturated fat in processed food. And so what they really, really mean is stop eating processed food. The fats that you get in animal products and things like avocados, okay, natural, real food is good because our body, as you know now, burns energy, carbs, and ketones come from fat. And so what happens is because we're this food again, when you eat fatty food and complex carbs as well, the energy burns slowly in your body. You don't feel the need to snack in between meals, so your blood sugar levels come down. And as your blood sugar levels come down, your body starts to burn fat for energy. What we're really trying to do when we need to lose weight as type 2 diabetics, we're trying to get rid of the fat that is in our pancreas and our liver. Okay, so if we can get rid of the fat in our pancreas and our liver, what happens is our body starts to communicate with itself a lot better. And the reason, because you've got fat in your pancreas and your liver, your body isn't communicating with itself very well, which is why you get your bruises don't heal and cuts don't heal as well as they should. You're more prone to get colds and other issues or infections and things like that. So when we lose enough fat for that, that's good. But we still need to have fat to burn energy for when our sugar levels do drop, okay? So we need to keep on replacing that fat. The other thing you've got to be very conscious of as a type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic is that when companies take the fat out of food, the food tastes bad. Now, if you're a person that normally has sugar in your tea, go make yourself a cup of tea, don't put any sugar in it, and tell me how that tastes, okay? You're used to drinking that tea with sugar, and it doesn't taste as good, okay? And that's what happens to all of that low-fat food. So what they do is they pump that low-fat food full of sugar, okay? And processed sugar at that. And processed sugar is not good for you at all, okay? You need to avoid as much processed sugar as you can as a type 2 diabetic or a pre-diabetic. You know, the reason they put loads of sugar in it is to make it taste good and to also act as a preservative for the food. So let's talk about sugar. Should you be avoiding sugar or shouldn't you be avoiding sugar? Yet again, when they say you need to cut down your sugar content, what they're talking about is the sugar content found in processed food. And what they really mean is you need to cut out processed food. So they put sugar in processed food for two reasons. A number of reasons, I should imagine. But one, it acts as a preservative. Okay. Yet again, it also makes the food taste nice. And then the other thing is, what they also know is it's going to burn quickly as energy in your body, so you're going to want to eat again. And also, tests have shown that what it actually does is it lights up your brain exactly the same way as if you would consume cocaine. And your brain likes that, so it craves to have that sugar a lot more. But that's processed sugar, stuff you find in ice cream, chocolate, all of this type of stuff. Sugar found in natural, real food is good for you, okay? There's nothing wrong with natural sugar in fruits, okay? It doesn't spike your blood sugar as much. It burns slowly in your body, and also fruit has a lot of really other good nutrients like fiber, which is really good for your gut health, okay? And having control of your overall gut issues and things like that you might have as a type 2 diabetic. So natural sugar isn't a bad thing. So now that you know that not all carbs are bad, not all fats are bad, and not all sugar is bad, you can start designing your meal plan with confidence using that food guide. But there is a few things you need to be aware of. I have a meal plan that I get in my program to help people reverse their type 2 diabetes, okay? But for me, what I did, if I'm just being honest with you, I made a list of all the meals that I ate on a regular basis. And what I did, I started replacing the foods that I knew were bad for me with real food. So rice, I replaced rice, and don't even go down the brown rice route, okay? Replace rice with cauliflower rice, okay? Okay, just do that. Just replace the rice with cauliflower rice. Potatoes replaced with sweet potatoes. Spaghetti I replaced with courgette spaghetti. If you're American, zucchinis, okay? And then just add real food. Okay, and these are the things. Now, but when it comes to fruit, there is one fruit you really need to avoid, and that is bananas, okay? If, don't get me wrong, you really want to try and eat fruit in the first thing during the day, as early on in the day as possible, to give your body time to get those blood sugars down. Don't want to really try and avoid fruit last thing at night. But bananas avoid is worse than chocolate for spiking your blood sugar, okay? So in that respect. So there you are. So that's how I would use the food guide. Okay, that's how I recommend you use the food guide that I've got for you, but there to help you create your meals. But if you're looking for more help, you need more help than that, then please click on the link below and download my webinar, the 3 steps our clients take to lower blood sugar. If you like the information in there and you need someone to help you guide you through this whole journey and do it with you, then please watch the webinar, book a call with me, and we'll see if our program is a good fit for you. Now, I'm going to stick another video here about a day in a life as a type 2 diabetic. So what a day in a life is like for me as a type 2 diabetic, as someone who's put their condition into remission. So you see how I plan my day out. And just remember, you're not a number, you're a rhino. Now charge.